Stop right now. Imagine this. You're working hard, sweating, buried in work for 10 straight years, and one day you realize you're still broke. Not because you didn't try hard enough, but because you've been charging at the wrong wall. Have you ever seen a mouse in a maze? It runs and runs like crazy, only to end up in the same dead end. You're the same if you just work hard but don't understand the rules of money. The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco explains it clearly. If you choose the slow lane, go to school, get a job, save, and hope to be rich at 65, you're trading your youth for a distant promise. The rich don't take that path. They use leverage, assets, and systems to accelerate while they're still young. Peter, a friend of mine, worked nonstop, from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., over 100 hours a week. He thought, I just need to try harder. 5 years later, Peter was still poor. His family was drowning in debt. His kids couldn't study what they dreamed of. His rough hands couldn't even buy a travel ticket. Peter wasn't short on effort. He was missing a system to multiply the value of his labor. The Millionaire Fastlane emphasizes, hard work alone will never save you from poverty. DeMarco breaks it down. No matter how much you push yourself, you're still just trading time for money. And your time is limited. Poor people stay stuck because they believe doing more will fix the problem. Meanwhile, the rich know only asset systems can set them free. Leverage time, leverage resources, multiply value through products, services, and technology. That's the real fast lane. If you don't build something that works even while you sleep, you'll always be a slave to your own labor. True wealth, DeMarco says, only comes when you stop selling your time and start building self-running systems. Charles was a delivery driver. He worked extra shifts at night just to earn a bit more every month. But every time his income increased, so did his expenses. One night, after 14 hours on the road, Charles broke down and cried. He realized, I can't just trade my time until I burn out and die. He started using 2 hours a day to build a YouTube channel sharing delivery tips. At first, no one cared, but Charles kept going. 2 years later, his YouTube income tripled his driving job. Charles cracked the code of his own life. According to Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, the poor dad teaches his son to study hard, get a stable job, and hope for promotions and pensions. But the rich dad teaches something completely different. Buy assets, build automatic income streams, and achieve financial freedom as early as possible. Kiyosaki warns, if all you do is earn a salary, you're building someone else's dream. Real freedom comes from owning income-generating assets, real estate, businesses, investments. Make money work for you, not the other way around. If you miss this truth, no matter how hard you work, you'll keep chasing a paycheck and live in financial fear forever. Sofia worked a typical office job. She followed the advice, save money, deposit it, dream of retirement. 20 years later, she lost her job due to company cuts. Her tiny savings couldn't even support her for 6 months. All the sacrifices, patience, and saving over 20 years vanished into thin air with just one layoff decision. Her life was stolen because she trusted an outdated system. The psychology of money points out, money isn't just math, interest rates, or ROI. It's emotion, behavior, and deep fears. Morgan Housel explains, people fail financially not because they can't calculate, but because they can't control their reactions to risk, surprises, and chaos. Without understanding how unpredictable life is, rigid financial plans collapse fast. Financial success belongs to those who stay calm, flexible, and build solid defenses, not just chase profits. Why do poor people feel more stuck the harder they try? Because they believe high salary equals security. Because they think hard work is a moral virtue. Because they think saving is enough. But here's the truth. In a system built on repetition, the poor are always the pawns helping the rich expand power. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker shows, the rich don't trade time for each dollar like the poor. They build income systems, businesses, properties, portfolios that work for them, even in their sleep. The rich know if they have to work forever just to survive, they're not free yet. The poor, meanwhile, cling to tiny bits of safety, saving every penny. and miss the big chances to grow wealth fast. Yeager emphasizes, the real difference isn't earning, it's mindset. The rich take smart risks to expand. The poor fear losing money so much they miss life-changing opportunities. If you never leave your little financial safety zone, you'll stay trapped in scarcity. Nathan, a factory worker, had worked 15 years without a break. One day, the company downsized. Nathan was fired within an hour. No one paid for his loyalty, no one reimbursed the youth he sacrificed. Here's the cold truth. If you don't build your own assets, you're building someone else's dream. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind says, poor people tie their whole identity to their job, holding on to stability, salary, and promotions. The rich think differently. A job is just temporary. Assets are what create lasting freedom. They don't just work, they build. Rental real estate, businesses, portfolios, intellectual properties. These earn even when they rest. T. Harv Eker emphasizes, if you bet your life on one job, you're putting your future in someone else's hands. But if you bet on assets, you take control. Freedom doesn't come from your job. It comes from the assets you own and manage. Mr. Thomas was a teacher for 35 dedicated years. When he retired, he received a small, barely there pension. His only son was too busy to care. Mr. Thomas lived alone in a tiny rented room. No one remembered his years of sacrifice for students. No one owes you a decent life. You have to claim it for yourself. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and the Psychology of Money. Agree. A pension is not a real asset. It's a promise, not an income you control. If you're counting on a pension, you're betting your life on unstable factors, like government policies, inflation, or personal risks. The wise know financial freedom doesn't come from what others promise. It comes from the assets you build, rental cash flow, dividends, business systems, or smart investments. The sooner you start, the safer your future will be. Extreme warning. If you don't act today, in 10 years, you'll wake up in a moldy rental room, staring at a cracked ceiling, asking, what did I do with my life? In 20 years, you'll watch your friends buy houses, travel, retire early while you're still drowning in debt. In 30 years, you'll die quietly in a cheap hospital, alone, with the final regret, if only I started sooner. You need to understand, no one is coming to save you, not the government, not your company. There's no miracle rescue coming for you. Only you, just you, and the decisions you make today. The Millionaire Fastlane warns, choosing the slow lane today is choosing a slow death for your dreams. Every day you delay, you're killing your wealthy future. Right now, you're at a crossroads. Step into change or keep charging into a dead end. This isn't a feel-good video. It's a punch to wake you up, to make you hurt. To make you angry at your own delays. You've been lied to by education, media, and society. Sold a fake idea of safety. You were told, study hard, get a job, save money, and you'll be happy at 65. But they never told you. 80% of retirees don't have enough to last 10 years. 70% of savers lose it all due to illness, crisis, or inflation. 90% of so-called stability only exists on paper. You've been deceived. You don't lack ability, you lack awakening. Wealth isn't for the lucky. It's a reward for intentional, early, relentless action. And if you don't start building assets today, 5 or 10 years from now, you'll realize you've paid for it with your life. Rich Dad, Poor Dad reminds us, the poor work for money. The rich make money work for them. If you're still trading time for a wage, you're gambling your future on a game you cannot win. If this video struck a chord in your heart, don't just save it. Do something now. Write down 5 skills you'll learn to create invisible assets. Commit from today, spend at least 5 hours a week building a second income stream. Start saving, not to wait, but to invest in cash-flowing assets. Reread those wealth books you've heard about, but this time, read with the mindset, I will apply this. Not to feel inspired, but to act. And if you've ever felt lost in a maze of financial knowledge, I've created a tool called Financial DNA. It's not a chatbot for chit-chat, it's a virtual mentor that helps you. Choose the right financial book for your level. Map out your skill-building path to create digital assets. And, most importantly, all guidance is tailored to your personal financial situation. Use it like a quiet companion, not flashy, not loud. But if you use it right, it can save you years fumbling in the dark. If this moment made your heart skip a beat, maybe that save button deserves a click. Because sometimes, a single reminder at the right time can change the direction of your whole life. And if this video voiced the words you never dared to say, then hit subscribe, not to make me famous, but so you don't miss the wake-up calls you've needed all along.